be doing a presentation on what I like to call rural sprawl. So this is essentially when inhabitants that are in current urban areas like to go outside of urban areas. And this, you see this happening a lot in the western United States. One of the primary places you see is Colorado, Wyoming, places like that that have vast areas of forests. And with these houses, they're wanting a lot of urban luxuries, water, power, gas, things like that. And a lot of times these aren't being taken into account of what is actually on the land and what happens with it, and that's where you start having issues. In this presentation in particular, I'm going to be talking about the Cameron Peak Fire in northwest Colorado. A lot of this fire was within wilderness areas located in the Roosevelt and Arapahoe National Forests of Colorado, as well as Rocky Mountain National Park. There are a lot of these different communities, such as Estes Park, that are near the fire zone, and a lot of sprawl outside of that are actually in areas where the fire burned. As you can see in the picture, there was a lot of different structure losses. So this is a map provided by the Incident Command Center that was on the fire. So yeah, this is the northwest corner of Colorado. You can see Fort Collins kind of there in the center of the screen on the right. Right below that, where you see the big 36, that's going to be your Estes Park. Just north of the fire boundary, you can see the Red Feather Lakes. You can see in the east there, that's going to be the border of Colorado with Utah. This map is really good at showing what wilderness areas there are, as well as Rocky Mountain National Park, as well as all the wilderness that it burned, as well as how close it got to a lot of these different communities. So in the past, what was here was exactly what it is. You had a lot of North American Indians using it seasonally for hunting grounds, foraging, stuff like that. There really wasn't any permanent structures. You had a lot of geographic features, lakes, mountains, everything like that. And honestly, just a huge variety of different wildlife populations. At this altitude, you will find a soil that's called the seat soil, which is the Colorado state soil. It's found at higher cool elevations such as the Rocky Mountains. It is deep and well draining. It develops in slope alluvium and colluvium, and both of these soils are known to come from parodying rocks. Especially in the Rocky Mountains, you have a lot of granite, which slowly breaks down over time. And you can see very well defined layers of forest substrate. The soil in particular is really good at supporting conifer forest vegetations that have large pines, stuff like that, and then smaller shrubs. And touching on the vegetation again, you have a lot of evergreen trees, Douglas firs, ponderosa pines, lodgepole pines. You have your shrubs down there consisting of mostly sagebrush and willow. You can get some greasewood and stuff in there too. There are large concentrations of grasses. You get a lot of cheatgrass, stuff like that, in areas that has been disturbed. And just a huge variety of different wildflowers. You see a lot of big game in areas like this. Estes Park is popular with its elk herds that live actually in town. And ones that are not seen as often are, your moose, your bighorn sheep, and your mule deer. There's a lot of small mammals, prairie dogs, squirrels, and you even see pika because of the higher elevations here. There's avian species, you have your burrowing owls, all your raptor species, finches, bluebirds, everything of that variety. One of the hugest concerns with this, and people gravitating towards more nature-oriented areas, is a lot of these buildings are not fire ready. There's a lot of vegetation surrounding them that create areas for falls of trees to carry the fire to homes, and this can lead to issues with proper forest management. Fire is essential for conifer forests because a lot of your pine cones are only able to be released by vast amounts of heat. So you're in turn supporting forest ecology. There's a huge cost factor associated with these, such as preparing your housing to be fire ready. There's no shake shingles, anything like that. A lot of it is like treated wood, metals, anything to like keep the fire from spreading to your home. And because of these structures, it's actually increasing the cost of firefighting because you're having to bring more firefighters for structure protection. You're having to use the materials used for this, and a lot of them are fire blankets, which can really rack up the cost. And another huge thing is the utilities provided to this housing oftentimes isn't environmentally sound. You have issues with leaking sewage, just mismanagement of gray water, and your power lines that may cause issues in the forest themselves too. And these are my references.